up, gangsters and hustlers? This is Jacked Up, that's right, Northern Arizona University's only video sports blog, brought to you by www.jackcentral.com, and it also can be seen on YouTube. I'm Wade McMillin, your host and sports editor of the Lumberjack, Northern Arizona University's college newspaper, and I'm joined here today with my sports team to debate the hottest topics in the wide world of sports. That's right, this is Jacked Up, and let's go ahead and introduce you to our contestants. First off, we have Chuck Constantino. How's it going, Chuck?
Hey, I'm Chuck Constantino. Screw Michigan State. They're in college basketball this year.
We got Matt McFadden all the way from Allen Hall in a beautiful yellow shirt.
Wade, you better not be hating on my yellow shirt this week like Chuck. But fortunately for you, this is on a pretty face this time.
All right, Brandon J. Smith, what's going on?
Good job, Michigan State, taking all the haters out like Chuck here.
And of course, assistant sports editor Nate Alcorn, last week's champion. How's it feel?
I'm on a boat with T-Pain.
All right, now that you've met all the contestants, let's go ahead and start debating these topics. First off, we'll take you to the Major League Baseball's diamond, where the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, after making a World Series appearance last year, may be looking to do the same thing this year, but with the Yankees adding Mark Teixeira and CC Sabathia, not looking likely. Plus, the Red Sox are always hot. Let's go ahead and start off with Matt McFadden on this one. Are the Rays for real?
The Tampa Bay Devil Rays this year will be for real like last year. They have almost every returning starter from last year, but unfortunately they won't be as for real as their AL East competitors, Yankees and Red Sox. There's just too many good off-season signings for both those teams, and unfortunately the Cinderella story will be over.
Yeah, that's right. Tampa Bay should be a Cinderella story this year. New York and Boston, just too much money. But let's go ahead and switch it over to Nate Alcorn. Why don't you go ahead and sound off?
Wade, I think the clock has struck midnight for the Tampa Bay Rays and their Cinderella story, and there's no glass slipper left over for them. I see this happening just like the Colorado Rockies in 2007. Similar returning lineups, minus a few big guys, but I don't see them doing anything. Red Sox and Yankees look good as always.
Yeah, the glass slipper may not fit there in Tampa Bay, but Brandon Smith, do you maybe see Tampa Bay continuing on?
Unlike the Rockies had that surge at the end of that season to make the World Series. The Rays had that consistency all that last season to make the playoffs, including the Red Sox. The Red Sox added some pitchers, but I think I see injury risk with Brad Penny and John Smoltz. Plus, the Rays still have a good portion of their pitching staff and their returning starting lineup with my fantasy player, Evan Longoria.
Evan Longoria sure is a stud, and that pitching staff I still think is just a little too unproven. But we'll go to Chuck Constantino. Do you got anything different?
I think the Rays are a fluke. I don't think they'll win any more than 85 games this year. They added Pat Burrell, and they still have basically all their starters and players returning. But the Red Sox added John Smoltz and Brad Penny, and they added Rocco Baldelli and some other bench players. And the Yankees just signed Teixeira, Burnett, and Sabathia, and also added Nick Swisher to their bench. So I just see the Red Sox and the Yankees battling it out for tops in the AL East.
Yeah, I definitely agree, Chuck. The Red Sox and Yankees have just simply done too much this offseason. So with that, we're going to go ahead and switch topics. Guys, NAU hockey was just on fire to start the year, but then some could argue that they might have slipped off the table as they went into the national tournament, obviously favorites, but then they couldn't win it. It's kind of the same story the year before, but how do you guys feel the Ice Jacks will make that move into Division II next year, and how do you feel about this season? Chuck, why don't you go ahead and start us out?
Okay, to be honest, I haven't watched or read about too many Ice Jacks games, but from what I heard, they did well, and they're moving into D2 next year, so I feel that the pressure won't be on them as much as it was this year. I mean, they'll be playing better competition. There won't be as such high expectations, so I feel they'll probably slide under the radar and continue to play well.
Yeah, expectations are always high for Ice Jacks hockey, but the expectations can only go up if you move to Division II. Sorry, Chuck. But Matt, why don't you go ahead and lead us off next?
The NAU Ice Jacks won't do as well as they did last year or this year in Division II next year. But I still do think they're going to have a solid winning percentage. They're not going to win every game by 20 goals like they did this year, but I think they will win some games, probably make some postseason tournaments, and they'll do well in their first year in Division II.
Well, I do like that predicament, Matt. I do think they'll definitely be a team that goes 500, that goes above 500, and makes definitely some postseason tournaments. But Brandon Smith, what do you got for us about the Ice Jacks?
Matt and Chuck made some very good points about the Ice Jacks with their expectations, but here's what I think they need to do. They need to get some motivation, but by no other means than the movie The Mighty Ducks. That's it.
Mighty Ducks was a really good movie. If they get their motivation from there, I think they would need to expand on that a little more. Brandon, it kind of shows that you didn't watch most Ice Jacks hockey this week, so we're going to leave it to our man who did cover them this year. Nate, please give me something that at least offers the fans here something.
You know what, Wade? I'm gonna have to disagree with Matt over here. I think the Ice Jacks are gonna have a better season. They've got some great recruits coming in from a couple places, including the Northeast, over in Alaska, and even down in the valley. So they got a couple big recruits. Dylan Schaefer's coming back. He had a great season last year. Was the team's MVP far and away. So D2 shouldn't be a problem for them. 4-2 was their overall record playing against D2 teams. Their division looks to be not that great. So look for the Ice Jacks to make some damage even with the move up.
Yeah, I think their recruiting efforts are awesome for that team, and they're not even university sanctioned, which really says something about that club. But with all that being said, we're going to have to make our first cut here on Jacked Up, and I am so sorry. Chuck Constantino, I'm going to have to let you go first. Better luck next time. Any last words?
Like Memphis head coach John Calipari, I'm out.
All right, Chuck, I'm so sorry to see you go. Not really, but we'll move on to the next topic. NFL free agency, specifically wide receivers. 3 names hit the market this year, signed with new teams. It's Terrell Owens going to the Buffalo Bills, TJ Houshmandzadeh going to the Seattle Seahawks, and Lavernius Coles going to the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, with those 3 names being signed, who do you guys see making the biggest splash for their new team? Matt, sound off.
Wade, for me, it's an easy decision. T.O. to the Bills, he'll wreck the franchise within a year. Lavernius Coles to Cincinnati, pretty much self-explanatory. He's in Cincinnati. And so I'm going to have to go with T.J. Houshmandzadeh, as I like to call him. He's got a fairly good quarterback. NFC West is somewhat weak, even though the Cardinals made it to the Super Bowl. But I'm going to go with T.J. House playing along with Deion Branch. They should be a solid team.
Houshmandzadeh should make a good team. I really like the nickname too. So, Brandon Smith, who do you got? Coles, Owens, or Houshmandzadeh?
Even though T.O. is a proven clubhouse cancer, I'm going to have to go with T.O. to the Bills. The reason why, even though Marshawn Lynch may have some injury problems going into next season, the Bills still have Lee Evans on the other side to complement T.O. So, go to Lee Evans a little bit, open up some more room for T.O. But given T.O.'s demanding the ball all the time, well, not sure that's going to work out, but so far I'm going to go with him.
Yeah, again, another dynamic duo there in Buffalo with T.O. and Lee Evans. Lee Evans, he might even put up more stats than T.O. this year, but we'll definitely see. But Nate, who do you got?
I'm going to agree with you, Wade. Lee Evans is going to have the best season of his career here with defenses watching Terrell Owens on the other side. He may not have the best year, but I think that's a smart move for the Bills. They're in a competitive division in the AFC East there. He was only signed a 1-year deal, not enough time to infect his cancer. He takes at least 2. So enjoy it while it lasts, make a good run, build that franchise. I think T.O. in Buffalo is a good move for the organization.